you really want to improve as a screenwriter? Well, I got a few books that might help you out. What's up, y'all? It's your favorite director, Shelton R. Johnson, and today we're going to keep it short but sweet as I give you what I consider to be my 3 most helpful books on screenwriting. Let's get into it. Now, there are tons of books that you can read on screenwriting, and I highly suggest that you do because I personally find it to be the most important element of filmmaking. However, to date, I've read 8 books already on screenwriting, and there's about 5 on my list that I want to get to. But of the 8 that I've already read, these are the 3 that I found to be the most helpful. So number 1, Screenwriting for Dummies. This book is written by Laura Shellhart. And let me tell you, this book helped me out tremendously when I was first starting with screenwriting. A lot of people don't know I started off with books, and this book really helped me transform into a screenwriter as opposed to being a novelist. It teaches you structure. My first couple scripts I wrote on Microsoft Word. She goes through literally every step of how to format your screenplay in Microsoft Word if you don't have a screenwriting software. Every little nuance every little question that you might have about screenwriting, just the craft of it all and the absolute basics of it all, Screenwriting for Dummies gives it to you 100%. I suggest any new screenwriter read that book, Screenwriting for Dummies. It's a great read. It's easy to understand, easy to follow. And as I always like to say, how can you be great at something or original at something if you don't know at least the basics of it? Well, this book right here will solidify you knowing the basics of screenwriting. And I think it's a great place for any new screenwriter to start. Number 2, Save the Cat. This book is written by Blake Snyder. You probably noticed that I have tabs on my books, and I highly suggest you do the same. And that's because I like to go back and reference these books whenever I'm writing a script or I get stuck in a certain spot and I want to figure out ways to get through it or how to handle it. I certainly would recommend you using these books as references, and I also suggest that you read them from cover to cover because there's a lot of information in each chapter of the 3 books that I'm giving you that I found to be valuable. Now, Save the Cat is more for like the intermediate writer who is looking for different ways to create a more compelling story, incorporate different things into their story. They've already probably written a few scripts at this point, and they want to challenge themselves by incorporating something that's a little more difficult. Save the Cat has a list of rules that'll make any script at least good. Now for number 3, and how fitting is the title that it is, Making a Good Script Great. This book is written by Linda Seeger. And let me tell you, as you probably noticed, it has the most tabs on it because it's referenced the most. And this book literally goes through every little element you could think of in a screenplay, lets you know how to notice a problem and how to fix that problem. She does an excellent job of going into detail and explaining things, putting it in layman's terms for anybody to be able to understand. I would highly suggest that any screenwriter, no matter what level, once you've done reading your script, that you read this book, and directors as well. If you're directing a story that you didn't write, you read the script and then go and read this book and go through that script again with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that you're directing the best story as possible. That's what I do when I go on set. I always read the script at least 4 or 5 times before I ever even step on set. And I compare it with things I've learned in this book and make notes on it, and I move forward from there. But it's a great read. Again, easy to follow, and she literally goes through every little detail, and it's so helpful, so helpful. Like I said, let me show you again, the most tabs. Now let me say 2 things about reading these books. The first is that the quote that I'm sure you all have heard, good writers read, is true. And it's not only applicable to books, but it's also applicable to scripts. You should be constantly reading other scripts to improve as a screenwriter as well as reading books to improve as a screenwriter. The second thing I wanted to say about reading these books is that I highly suggest that you're working on a script while reading these books because you don't want to fall into that trap of learning and not applying. And yes, that is a real trap that a lot of people fall into. Now, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions about any of these books or books you may have read about screenwriting, please leave them down in the comment section below, where I will try my best to respond to each and every one of them. And if you're new to my channel, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching this video. And please take the time to hit that subscribe button down below, where I'll be posting more videos where I bring the common sense approach to filmmaking. And as always, please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing and hearing. Till next time, cut.